why did Santa have such a big sack? Why does Santa have such a big sack?
Why?
Because he only comes once a year.
Okay, so Amazon Prime or Prime Video, they don't like the Amazon thing. So Prime Video dropped the first 2 episodes of the second season at the same time. And so, yeah, just to try to keep it straight, we'll go down the line and talk about each character and what we thought and everything. So we try not to forget about stuff.
Right.
So let's talk about, I'm going to say Megan Good for last. Cause
the stud, can we talk about the stud first?
Ty.
Is that y'all will tell me.
So he's talking.
Somebody gonna let me know.
I know, right?
So let's talk about her first.
All right, Ty. So last season, we left her off with, her husband came back into town magically or mysteriously, and her health seems to be better. I wonder if they're gonna go back to that hysterectomy.
Well, yeah,
thing.
because remember they let her go. He said it's not so serious that we need to make a decision now.
Right. I'm just wondering if it's gonna come back up.
It definitely is. She's definitely avoiding. We know she's an avoider.
Yeah,
obviously.
She is definitely an avoider. But the husband came back, and she is a horrible communicator. So she talked to him and accused him of wanting money when he didn't want money, but now he wants money. And so now we meet her in this season trying to deal with her attachment issues.
Ty is the perfect example of why you should not assume. Stop assuming. Y'all know what that means? Self-fulfilling prophecy. That happens when you assume. All right.
But that happens a lot in TV, where I just bust in and I say a lot of stuff and I don't let you get a word in and I just assume, and now I've talked myself into what I was trying to avoid. I mean, it happens in real life too, but the way
definitely, because a lot of times I feel like people plant seeds and they don't even realize they're doing it.
Definitely.
And that's exactly what Ty did.
Yeah.
Like the end of last season, and definitely, right now, what's going on, what we see is happening, aka her and finding her fellow fuck girl. Because we all know what's gonna happen, especially since homegirl saw her husband come in.
Yeah.
And then he definitely gay, because that was real petty. That was real petty. Like, you walk in the house talking about, hey wife, how you doing? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, that was wild.
Come on, bro.
But and my thing with him and this whole situation is because this been like 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
And you still this.
But no, he deserves.
I mean, no,
he deserves to be.
No, he deserves to be upset, and she did him dirty.
She definitely did.
But
you remember the story too? He liked her for real.
Yeah.
Like, he might be gay, but he might be bi.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he really started falling for her, and she was like, "Oh, ghost."
Right. Yeah. So no, she was foul for that, and she did him dirty
for 5 years.
I'm just saying.
For 5 years.
I'm just saying.
That you on papers with, girl. You wild, and then you start a huge company, and I know it's multi-million-dollar because you're in New York and you have your own huge condo.
Right.
So I know it's a multi-million-dollar company already that you have, and you decided to ghost your husband and then start a multi-million-dollar company. Sis, you're Saudi.
Yeah.
That's just real. You're Saudi.
Yeah.
You're Saudi, and now you got to deal with it. And definitely he coming for half. Definitely. Because it wouldn't be right if you didn't. You got to go for broke. And he already there, so.
Yeah, I hope he don't get half, though.
I hope he don't deserve half.
No, he don't deserve half.
He doesn't deserve.
But then we got, since we started with Ty, the lesbian, we can go to the
new lesbian.
The new member of the queer community. And Quinn the queer. What? They named the character that knowing this is where they was going to take her. So it's not my fault. But I don't know if in the first season I really grasped her like abandonment issues or her need of commitment. Mm-hmm. But with the way she was interacting with Isabella was wild to me. And
really?
Yeah, because
the exact same way she reacted to every man we
no, and I guess so. But I guess to me with Isabella, it was just so clear that to me it was more clear that this isn't what that was. Because with the men, she was just looking for a relationship, obviously, but she was just meeting these men that weren't what they were, portraying and stuff like that. She went to a whole pyramid scheme.
Yeah, but the one after the stripper was nice.
The stripper was nice, but
he was pretty open and honest about his situation.
And he was probably what she was looking for, honestly. And so she leapfrogged over that.
Not really. She fucked it up. She definitely showed. How do you say? What's the word I'm looking for? She definitely showed embarrassment about his career path.
Yeah.
And he does not share that sentiment. She definitely messed that up.
No, she definitely did, but she could have salvaged that. If she wanted to.
That's true, because after's when she started babysitting.
Exactly. And so she kind of disregarded that for Isabella, but she wanted to jump right into
full-blown.
She don't know how to date.
Yeah,
she don't know how to date. She want a commitment hot.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was sad.
It was, because I feel like it was the same thing we always seen her do, and especially in the sense of just showing affection to the thought of attention, because that's really what it is.
No, yeah.
Which is sad, because she just needs a hug from her mom. Let's talk about Angie next. Love me some Angie. Love this woman. Okay, I've never met such a proud hoe. She's a character, of course, but just in real life, I've never met a woman, and I'm not saying hoe in a derogatory way, of course, but I've just never met a woman who was so unapologetic. This is a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah.
It really is, honestly, because it's
also not a thing. Nobody is making it a thing about her, and this is just who she is, and it's fine.
And an effort.
Yeah, and that to me, that's good.
Exactly. And it's just love her story, love how hopelessly spontaneous she is, because that's what's going on, to be honest. Because sis, you started a singer career, had a whole record, and now you acting. I'm not mad, but I just feel like that's the flow of things. And then it's just how she hops from one body to the next. Not mad, it's the flow of things.
Right.
And even her in one of these episodes, honey, I don't know, but one of these episodes when she listened to the psychic on the street, the not psychic on the street, it's the flow of things. You know what I'm saying? It's something she connected to in the moment, and she just runs with it. And I love that about this character. I love that natural, just get up, go, do it. This feels good. Let's do it. I love that. And I love her. I do. And I love how she be snapping on people, because she don't let nobody live.
At all.
She doesn't. She does not let anybody live. Micro penis. Telling her she was loose. Sir, of course it's loose. You throwing a grain of rice into a goddamn whatever, but that grain of rice is not gonna touch anything, baby. It don't matter.
That is hilarious.
That was crazy, and I hated how he switched it. I just want us to enjoy sex with each other, sir.
And I wish
you can't be that delusional.
The only thing I wish with that situation is that they would have drug it out a little bit, and just it was so hilarious, because literally he had everything she wanted. Except for that one very important aspect.
Yeah, because we know she need that.
Yeah, and then she even tried to, but the fact that he was so asshole-ish about it and delusional about it just threw her off. But I wish they would have dragged it out and let that be kind of a relationship.
I'm going to say this at risk. It's a risky thing to say. Risky text, send. Think about it later. In my head, my initial thought was, you've only been fucking white girls. Calm down. That's just how I feel.
Well, no, I just think he been dating women like Angie, just without the mouth. So women who get with him for the financial benefits and just fake it up until that point.
And then they kind of geek his head up in a way when they leave him, because they leave him, obviously.
Yeah, but see, they all because he was women can't handle it.
So they probably just sarcastically be it's too big. I can't deal with it. So
exactly. Okay. Megan Good.
That's the last one?
Yeah.
We did Ty and Angie.
Oh, we didn't do. Did we do Quinn?
Yeah, we did Quinn, because you called her Quinn the Queer.
Yeah. That was cool. It was clever.
It was.
No, so Megan Good, bruh. I'm glad. So the first thing I gotta say is I was so glad that Mira, the fiance, because when we was watching the first season and they kissed outside the engagement party, I was like, there's no way any rational human being did not
Did
see
not
that
see
kiss.
that.
And so I'm so glad that she not dumb. But Megan Good, I'm very glad that she got. I still think sometimes I think the problems in the show get resolved a little quickly because I was glad that she got faced with all of her issues and all of her shortcomings and stuff. But to me, you were faced with the decisions you made that messed everything up and reconciled with Miracle Watts' husband. All in the same. Well, I guess all.
Is that how you? You just gonna call him Miracle Watts' husband?
I can't think of his name.
Diamond. His name is Diamond.
But it's from the same show because I found out he was Miracle Watts' husband from watching P-Valley. So
I didn't know that was Miracle Watts.
Oh yeah, but yeah, so it's the same thing.
It is the same thing.
But so all in the same 24-hour period, you had this great revelation that gave you an epiphany on your relationship, gave you an epiphany on your job, and now you've reconciled with the guy you should have been with that you kicked to the side 4 years ago. It just seems a little like usually when a season starts of a new season, I'm like, usually you get faced with like a new problem. And so like, okay, first 2 episodes, we know, just like when the first season, we was like, Ian showed back up. This man that had me, over the moon, he's back in town. That's how the season started. Like, okay, we're going to deal with this all season. So, but the first 2 episodes, I'm like, you done resolved everything.
I don't think it's resolved.
I don't think it's resolved, but I'm just saying when the episode ended, everything was good. So it's not like she knew what she was doing with her job and she knew what she was doing with Ian. They got back together and we're all good.
We should talk about that. We should talk about Megan and Quinn doing all that crazy drink stuff. Because they were stressing me out. Sis, did you really quit your job, bro?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Even though I do understand why that thought to quit was in her head, because she was so set on like the trajectory of her career. But I don't understand being an adult and so type A as she is, to however intoxicated you got that you really went to this lady's house.
Yeah.
Went to her house. And we know it was in the middle of the night.
Yeah. You went to Whoopi Goldberg's house and quit your job, and your friend co-signed every move of that decision making.
And that's why we love Angie, because you took career advice from
the
one who quit.
Yeah.
The heiress.
The heiress with a failing business. You took career advice from her. Okay. And I mean, it's to me as adults, especially adults in their 30s, it's only so much you can blame on being drunk. Like the days of,
Yes.
And to me, it's never an excuse that I was so drunk I did this. Oh, well, you were drunk. To me, that's never an acceptable excuse.
I agree.
But the older you get, the less and less that it's understandable.
Right, because the older you get, the more self-control you should have.
Yeah, and the more you got to lose.
Yeah.
Like you that's a career. That's not
and that's something you love for real.
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, this is a career you didn't go to Paris for.
But I also I understand her at the same time, because Whoopi Goldberg has been pooping like runny, watery pooping on Megan's whole career this whole time.
And she deserved it.
She has not had respect for Megan since she stepped in.
And she deserved it.
I don't think so.
Because when she was in her office and Whoopi Goldberg told her that she wasn't going to endorse her, and she laid out point by point why she wasn't going to endorse her, you realize that really she's not qualified.
No, I don't agree. I feel like you realize that Whoopi is still kind of that old woman. And you know what I mean when you talk to like old people who have businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like when they talking to young people trying to start a business, it's like, bro, y'all still talking about door knocking. You see what I'm saying? You still talking about going door to door and handing out business cards. That's not how life works now. Like if you don't have a social media presence, you probably won't succeed if you're trying to go into entrepreneurship or stuff like that. To be honest, even if you want a corporate career, you need a LinkedIn.
Yes, but Whoopi didn't say, she didn't knock the social media presence.
Yes, she did.
No, she didn't.
She literally said, "I'm not impressed by it," and that's all you have.
But what she said was that she is glad that she has it, and she said she's glad that it has an impact. She says that's all good, but that's not the only thing you need. You need all this other stuff.
She also said she didn't really do any real research.
Yeah, she was like, she was like, all her articles were in magazines. They weren't in any academic journals. And she was like, her real life experience was lacking. And when she first got there, she was like, she's not out in the streets going to a protest. That's why she went to that protest and ran into Ian, because she was trying to prove something to the professor, because she don't have no experience. All her stuff is theory.
That's real.
And so my thing is, and then when it would be different if she hired somebody that was on the same level or less qualified, but she hired a black person who was immensely qualified for the role.
And super black. I felt Megan. I did. I was like, yo, you really thought African American wasn't enough? You said take that American out. You said the American is muddying up this situation. Like, oh, I felt her. I can't lie.
I'm not saying it should have felt good. It definitely should have felt bad. But I'm just saying it was all very reasonable.
And can we talk about how Ian, what's the other dude named Jameson, how he reacted? Stop defending black men for 2 seconds and listen to your girl complain, okay? Calm down. Oh, so you just gonna talk down on this black man? Yeah, because he took my fucking job. Yes, he took her job.
I'm saying it wasn't hers to begin with.
Yes, it literally was. Remember the last person who got fired literally was like...
She gone.
Yeah, but from Megan's perspective, it literally was her job.
Yes.
This man literally came and took her job. He literally did.
But he was more qualified.
It doesn't matter. The truth of the matter is the truth of the matter. He did come and take her job. So stop defending dicks for a second. Stop it. I know it's dark like yours, but can we stay on subject?
But I'm saying if she had hired a woman with the same resume, I would be saying the same thing.
I don't think he would have. Remember when they were on the panel, his points were centered around black men.
Oh no, he wouldn't have said the same thing. You're right. No, you're right. He would have just said fuck them all.
Yeah. But yes, another thing. What you were talking about, Megan Good's character, we have to learn her name. And Mira.
Camille.
That's her name?
Yes.
There you go. So Camille and Mira. Their interactions,
Yeah.
And I loved how they how you could tell Mira was completely torn apart because we never seen grays on her head. She had so many grays when she put up to that man's house. So many. I was like, oh, damn. You... Oh, po baby, you know what I'm saying? One night, that second kiss just took all the melanin from your hair follicles.
Yeah, she drained.
Bro, and I like how she was like, you're not about to sweet talk your way out of how you fucked up. You fucked up.
Yeah.
You fucked up, bro. You fucked up and you ruined a lot of people's lives.
And that's why I was glad that whole episode for Camille seemed like it was about taking responsibility and accountability for all the shit she did from the first season up till now, basically. And beforehand.
Right. And I want to speak on the fact that you said they resolve issues a little too quickly. I feel like they do that because they resolve issues in a healthy way. But what that does is open doors for more issues because we know that even though her and Ian had made up, you know what I mean? It's still gonna be residual problems that comes and everything. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Because Megan Good's most of her career is off her social media. So Mira might blast her this girl who took my husband. And I was like, bruh, so it could be. But I just know you're right. They do solve problems rather quickly.
Well, and I mean, I think just Camille's problems because, like,
Not all of them.
Because like Ty is the husband thing is taking a while, and Quinn, her none of her problems ever get resolved. So, like, to me, it was just the Camille thing of all of that kind of like the fallout of you breaking up a marriage or a wedding was kind of all resolved in the same day.
Same thing.
And so it was just a lot.
But Quinn's problem with the friend group was resolved in a day because they weren't paying any attention to like the issues she was having because she came from money. Remember, she had that whole talk with them while they were in the hospital.
Yeah. Well, and see, to me, and that's scaling problems properly, right? Because some issues, not all issues are the same. And so some issues, like we were saying earlier, can just be resolved by conversation. And if I start breaking down crying and just say I need to be heard or I need to be seen or I need to be validated, if we're real friends, it shouldn't be a problem. Now that you brought it to my attention, cool, I got you.
And she snapped on them a little
bit.
And I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it for her because she's like, stop talking. And Camille, Megan's character, okay. Yeah. She was like, ooh. But nobody like, snap back at her like, but watch your tone. Yeah. Like, we know how it is with women most of the time. Like, especially when you have a group of very stubborn women all in the same group. Like, it can be easy to get distracted when somebody's trying to express because they're expressing in a way that isn't positive. But if it's not good feelings, it's not going to be expressed positively.
Right.
And everybody should still be open to